In the previous classes, we have covered all our module right from module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have covered it. In today's class, we will be just overviewing the module 2. Module 1 we have overviewed it already. We will be just overviewing what we have studied in module 2. Okay. In module 2, we have learned regarding unit flow diagrams, then the significance of each unit, then the sources and its characteristics of surface and subsurface sources and its suitability, then sampling, what is sampling, its methods and its preservation technique, how to preserve it, then drinking water quality standards as per BIS limits, then intake structures, types of it, then factors to be considered in intake structures, then the aeration process and its limitation and what are the different types of it. So this is what we will be just discussing it in today's class. Now we will come to the first point, that is the unit flow diagram of the water treatment. In water treatment, if you see, the water treatment will be having these following points in it. In it, we are having screening, aeration, sedimentation, filtration, disinfection, miscellaneous treatment and hardness. I'll just overview what is the work of the screening, what is the work of aeration, sedimentation, filtration, disinfection and the miscellaneous treatment. Okay, in screening, what we are going to do is we are going to remove the larger floating elements which are present in the water, such as your clothes, hairs, okay, then dead animals, leaves, plant parts, various parts of it, we are going to separate it out. So if we are going to separate it, it is not going to cause a problem in the further treatment process. In screening, we are going to have coarse screen, medium screen, fine screen, right? We are in the screening, we will be using the bars. Based upon the bars, the screen is going to be classified into coarse screen, medium screen, fine screen, okay. Then first thing, what you need to remember, screening is used to remove the larger floating elements which are present in water. Then the aeration, in order to increase the DO content in water, what we are going to do in an aeration process is we are allowing the water to free fall from a height. So if we do that, what will happen is whatever the atmospheric air, whatever is there in the atmosphere or in the environment, it is going to be included in the water. So this is how we will be increasing the DO content in the water. In the aeration, we are going to have the different types of it. We will just see it later. In the sedimentation, sedimentation is nothing but whatever the larger floating elements are there in the water, it is going to be removed by the sedimentation process. What we are going to do in the sedimentation is, we are allowing the water to stand in a tank for a certain amount of time. So in that particular time, what is going to happen is the particles which are having the suspended or its specific gravity, it is going to get settled down by its own weight, and after settling, what happens is the water, whatever the suspended or settlable particles are there in water, it is going to get settled down, and the supernatant leaker, we are going to get it at the top. Here there are two types of sedimentation. One, the continuous flow is there, and one is the intermittent flow. Intermittent flow is there. In intermittent flow, we are allowing the water to stand in a tank for 24 hours, and in a continuous flow, we will be controlling on velocity. Then a filtration process, here the suspended particles which are not removed by the sedimentation process, we are going to remove it in the filtration process. It is the water is going to be passed through the various layers of sand and gravel, and then it is going to the suspended particle which has not been removed by the sedimentation. It is going to be removed by the finer layer of your sand and gravel. It is going to be get removed. That is nothing but the filtration. Then the water is going to be get percolated after filtering it down, and we are going to collect it. That is filtration. In the disinfection process, it is nothing but the process of killing off the microbes. That is nothing but called as an disinfection. Here we are going to have various methods are there in this that we will be seeing in the when we will be seeing a bit detail in when we will be speaking regarding disinfection. Then we are having the miscellaneous treatment. Here the odor or hardness or whatever the fluoride content, iron content, whichever is more, here we are going to remove it in the miscellaneous treatment. The next topic is we will be seeing regarding the sources and characteristics of surface and subsurface water. Now we are going to have the different surface and subsurface. In the surface source, we will be having the river, lake, pond, and then these are the our normally the surface water sources, drinking surface water sources, and your then surface runoff is also included in this. Then the rainwater will also be there, and in the groundwater we will be having the open well and the bore wells in the groundwater. Okay. Now, if we consider the lake and pond, when the water is going to be, it is going to be the stagnant, then it is we will be having it in the lake or pond. Lake is the smaller, and the pond is the larger. Here, there are some problems in the lake and pond water. Is the water is going to be stagnant. Here, there is a no DO circulation will be there inside the these kinds of water sources in either in the lake or either in the pond. River water, it is river water we will be normally we will be using it as a source of water for the many places. Why is the river is continuously flowing, and the DO content will be getting enhanced in the flowing water. So that is the reason why we prefer the river water in when we will be having the for water supply. Then surface runoff is directly, it is the water which is going to from the precipitation. The water is flowed on the surface or ground level, and then that particular ground level will be having the different types of solids in it. So that has different types of solids, then microbes, etc., etc. So we usually we don't use it. Then the rainwater, when the precipitation takes place, the rainwater is going to fall through the atmosphere, and it is going to absorb the various gases and the vapors which are present in the atmosphere. The rainwater, it is going to have the nitrogen content, the CO2 and rare and salt nuclei and a radioactive fallout. So normally we prefer the river water for the drinking, and the groundwater is, as you know, that the groundwater is going to be infiltrated into ground whenever the precipitate is going to occur. It is going to be flowed through the different layers of soil, and whatever the minerals are there, we will be it is going to be get infiltrated into the ground and collected as a groundwater. Normally we will be having two types of, one is open well and one is the bore well. In detail we have talked regarding the groundwater, refer to the previous videos regarding the sources and characteristics. If anything you want, you can refer the previous videos. Then coming to the sampling technique. Sampling is nothing but it is the method of collecting the water sample when we will be we want the water characteristics of that particular source. So it is a method of collecting the water from the source in order to have the analysis. That is nothing but the sampling. Now the different methods are there. That is one is the grab sampling and the composite sampling. Okay. Here we will be seeing what is a grab sampling and what is a composite sampling. The grab sampling, what we usually do is we will just take the water bottle of the sample, and then we just dip the water bottle, and then we take the water at only one time, one period, at one particular depth, okay, one time, okay, at a particular time. So that is nothing but your grab sampling. Whereas a composite sampling is we will be taking the water sample in order to do the analysis, different depth, different time, and different places, and after bringing the sample from a different time, different depth, and different places, what we do is we usually mix it, and then after mixing we will be analyzing that what particular water for the analysis part. So here the composite sampling is going to give you the more accurate result than your grab sampling. Grab sampling only one time, one place at a particular depth, okay, whereas composite different time, different place, and a different depth, and after bringing those samples we will mix it, and then we will analyze it. So this is regarding the composite sampling. So what is sampling is over, types of sampling is over. Precautions: the collecting bottle, what we need to have is we should thoroughly wash it, and after collecting the bottles it should be sealed properly. The samples should be collected from midstream and mid depth, and it should be away from the banks. Then the sample collected to be tested within 24 hours of collection. If the sample of testing cannot be done in 24 hours, it should be tested by keeping the water sample at 4 degrees Celsius. So this is regarding your sampling. Then water quality, the BIS standards, Here the water quality standards, we are going to divide it into the three different types. So here we call it as water characteristics. In that we are going to have the physical characteristics, chemical characteristics and biological characteristics. For physical, we will be just discuss what are the BIS standard for this. First characteristics in the physical terms is the color, the unit is Hazen, and the desirable limit is your 5 and permissible limit is 25. Then odor, it is unobjectionable, it should not have any kind of a odor. Drinking water should not have any kind of a odor. Then the turbidity, we are going to have the desirable it is unit is NTU, and desirable limit is 5 and permissible limit is 10. Temperature, it is 25 degrees Celsius. Solids, we will be having the different types of solids, that is dissolved, suspended, settlable, your volatile and fixed solids. Okay, so these are the different types of solid. For solids, we are going to have limit as your it is 500 as a desirable limit and 2000 for a permissible limit. So this is regarding the physical characteristics of water. In chemical characteristics, first we will be seeing on pH. What is pH? I have already told you in detail. Just we will see what is its desirable and permissible limits. Desirable limit for pH is 6.5 to 8.5. Okay, and there is no relaxation. There is no relaxation for the permissible limit. And pH, it is a very important factor. Just I have told you how the pH we are going to measure. But we are going to measure it on field by the litmus paper. If it in a lab, we are going to measure it by the conductometric method. Then chloride, desirable limit is 250 mg per liter and permissible limit is 1000 mg per liter. This we are going to determine it by using the silver nitrate by the you are having the titration procedure. Then dissolved oxygen, it is nothing but the oxygen present in water in the dissolved form. The limit for DOE is 4 to 8 mg per liter. Okay, then after this, the importance of all these things I have told. If you want all in detail, you can refer to my previous videos. Then next is the sulfate. Regarding sulfate, desirable limit is 200 and permissible limit is 400 mg per liter. Nitrates, it is 45 mg per liter and permissible limit is 100 mg per liter. If the nitrate is going to exceed by more than 45 mg per liter, then it is going to cause the blue baby disease in the newborn or the babies. Next is the iron. Iron limit is 0.3 mg per liter and permissible limit is 1 mg per liter. Then the fluoride content, it is 1 mg per liter desirable limit and permissible limit is 1.5 mg per liter. If fluoride content is less than 1 mg per liter, then it is going to cause the dental caries. If it is more exceeding say 1 point more than 5 mg per liter or 3 mg per liter, then it may call the skeletal fluorosis. If you want all these in detail, you can refer the previous videos. In the biological characteristics, we have the various kinds of aquatic plants, aquatic animals. Then regarding the bacteria, viruses, we have spoken. Then we have talked on the BOD aspect also. For a drinking water, the BOD should not be there in the water. Okay, and the BOD and COD. COD is nothing but BOD is nothing but the biochemical oxygen demand, and COD is nothing but the chemical oxygen demand. Then your COD will be greater than BOD. Why it is? The BOD is only going to measure the organic impurities present in water, whereas your COD is going to measure both the organic and inorganic impurities which are present in water. Then we will be seeing regarding the intake structure. Okay, what are intake structures? These are the structures. It is going to be used for admitting the water from the surface sources like river, reservoir, lake, etc., and conveying it to the further to the treatment plant. Okay, then we will be seeing what are the criteria in order to have the site selection criteria for your intake structure. The site should be provide the best quality of water in order to maintain the cost purification. This we have talked in detail. Then as far as possible, the site should be near to the treatment plant so that the cost of you are conveying the water is going to be less. Then it should be free from the different flood effects. Then the site should provide the maximum water from the source throughout the year. Then the intake must never located on the downstream of the vicinity. Then it should not be near the navigation channel. All these things we have talked in detail. Then we will be seeing what are the different types of intake structures. In the regarding this, I have given the more detailed explanation, but just now we are going to overview it. First is submerged intake. In submerged intake, we are going to have the simple concrete block intake, then rock filled intake, then types of intake. We are going to have wet intake and dry intake. We have discussed in detail. Then next is we are going to have the third is river, canal, and your reservoir intake. In river, we are going to have the twin type and the swing single type. This we have talked in detail regarding the different types of the intake structure. So, and importance also it has been discussed in previous classes. We remained with the aeration process. Now, why we will be having the aeration is, it is the important unit operation in order to increase the DO content and in order to remove the bad odor in the water. We will be using the aeration. Okay, now it removes the taste and bad odors, and it increases the DO content in water. It removes the hydrogen sulfide, then it decreases the carbon dioxide of the water, and hence it is going to reduce the corrosiveness and it is going to raise the pH. It is due to the agitation where are some of the microbes, if it is present in water, it is going to be get killed. Then we will be seeing the different types of we have aerators. In that we have seen what is cascade aerator. Cascade aerator, for your remembrance, we will be allowing the water to fall through the steps. Okay, when we are allowing to fall through the steps, the DO content is going to be get increased. Then the inclined apron, we will be having the apron with having the refill plates to it. We have discussed already regarding this. Then a slat tray aerator. Here the water will be passed through the from the top with having the various trays. Then a gravel bed aerator, we will be using the gravel for the gravel bed aerator. Then spray aerator, we are going to just sprinkle the water from the top. Then the air diffusion aerator. So these are nothing but the different types of the aeration system that we will be using. Okay, now the whatever the topics that we have covered, it is just we have overviewed the topics in a detail. If you want about regarding these topics, you can go to the previous videos. Just we have overviewed it in order to have the revision, but it cannot be said a revision. Why is we have just overviewed it. If you want the revision, you can in detail you can go to the previous videos. Okay, thank you.